all our gurus who are helping us, Patriji, Swarnamala Patriji, Vamsikiran Master, and there are few other gurus that I follow. So I really thank everyone from the bottom of my heart. All the knowledge that I'm going to provide today is their guidance. Nothing from me. I'm just a carrier. So I'm just giving the guidance that I have received. So today's topic, actually, Ani Madam was supposed to take something about kids, but because I'm not aware of what she planned, I will go ahead with my topic. So my topic is mostly about Arishadvargas. So my process, what I usually do is I tell a story and we learn from the story. So these stories are really simple stories that we do every day. It's useful in our daily life. So we just do these stories, understand from the stories, and then we get our morals, and then we'll come to a process. We'll come to a balanced state, and we think and we analyze the story. So it's going to be a simple, little different from the traditional class, but I hope this helps. So before we start our class, right, we'll talk about what Arshad Vargas are a little bit, just a brief summary. So Arshad Vargas are usually the emotions you call it, or it is a lot of um how do you put this? Like it's more like a challenging situation that we are in every day, right? It's about anger, jealousy. It's called as kopa moham. There is a list, right? If we have to go through that list, then it'll take forever, right? We don't have enough time to go through each one of those, so we'll talk about couple of those. And as humans, it's very hard to say that we should not be angry, or we are not supposed to have lobham. Lobham means lobham, moham, and all that, right? It's very hard, extremely hard to say that, okay, these are the things that we should not have, right? Because we are all humans, we are emotional people. So we will have those situations where we lose our temper. We'll have situations where we are greedy. We'll have situations where we are selfish. We'll have all sorts of situations. How do we overcome this? So today's story will describe about that, a little bit about that, and you guys can and we can talk after the story and after our class is done, right? So in a village, there was this person, right? This is like an old story, which was done in the past, right? So there was this person who was really very greedy, very greedy. He wouldn't help anybody in the world, leave alone his someone from outside. He wouldn't even help his own family, or own kids, or anybody, right? He's always very greedy. Like money was everything for this person. So one day he was a businessman. So he used to always travel in a boat, right? He has to go through a boat. His business was all through the boat. So one day he takes a boat. He goes to a different place, right, wherever he was supposed to go. And when he finishes his business, he has a lot of money. He's coming back to his hometown, and when he's coming back, he's stuck in a hurricane, right? So when he's stuck in a hurricane, his boat just drowns. He drowns, and the boat he falls in the river, and he's drowning. He's literally drowning. He doesn't know how to swim, and he lost hope on his life. So what he does is he just prays. He prays to God. He'll say that, if I feel better, if I get out of this situation, I will definitely feed 1,000 people. Thousand, he'll say 1,000 Brahmins, but 1,000 people. Let's consider 1,000 people, right? I'm going to feed them, and immediately somehow he gets some help. He'll get some help in form of a log. There is a wooden log that he finds, and he clinges to the log, and he reaches to the shore of the river. Slowly he'll come to the shore. In the process, as soon as he received the log, right, he remembers what he prayed. He remembers that, oh, I have to feed 1,000 people now, right? He promised. That was his way of saying thank you to God, right? Because that's what he prayed for. So immediately he received a log, and then he'll be like, God won't think anything, it's okay. Let me feed 500 people. Okay. Instead of doing 1,000 people and one curry and one dal and one little bit of rice, let me do 500 people. 500 people, I can do three more curries, right? It's okay. God won't think anything. Let me feed 500 of them. So he'll get the log, he'll come to the shore. As soon as he comes to the shore, right, his greed kicks in again. He'll be like, 500 might be a little too much, right? 500 is too much. Why don't I do like 100 people, right? Instead of doing 500 and feeding them like so much, let me do 100 people and I'll give them good food. So that way, eh, they'll be happy with the good food, and they're eating to their heart's content, right? They're good. So let me do that. So that 100 also, the 500 became 100. Now he's walking home towards his home. Then he'll be thinking, right? This is kicking in. The greed is kicking in so much. So he'll be like, oh wow, 100 might be a little too much. Why don't I do 50? Right? Let me do 50 and let me do like 10 varieties. Okay. So let me do 10 varieties, and then they'll eat to their heart's content, and then God will be happy. It's okay. I said 1,000, but that's okay. 50 is also good, decent number. By the time he goes to his house and knocks on his door, the 50 becomes 10. And the same thing, right? The same process. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. God doesn't mean it. Like God doesn't care, as long as I'm feeding, it's okay. Now his wife opens the door and he'll be like, what happened? And then immediately he'll tell all the story, and then he'll check his money, his cash, everything is there. His body is in one piece, right? He survived. His money is there with him. He did not lose anything, not even a penny, right? He has everything. How he was planning to go home, the same way he went home. So everything's good. So the wife will say, oh, she'll be so scared. She'll be like, why don't you just freshen up? And once you're done, I'll feed you. I'll feed you lunch or dinner or whatever, right? I'll feed you food. So he'll shower. When he's showering, he'll think like, even 50, 10, these are all too much. Why don't I do one person? Just one person. Let me feed him really well, and let me do everything to him, so God will be happy. Right? It's okay. God doesn't think anything. It's okay. So he started off with 1,000. He came down to one. Now, this one person also, his mind, his body, his soul is not in sync. He doesn't want to give. He's a greedy person. What else can we expect, right? He doesn't want to give even a penny to that person who he wants to feed, right? So he'll go into his village. He'll find a person who is very sick, like a Brahmin who is very sick. The Brahmin is going to die in like maybe in a week or two. He's like very sick, right? He's on his almost like a deathbed. So he'll bring that Brahmin, because he promised that he'll feed that Brahmin one meal, right? One good meal. But he cannot eat. Even if you give him 10 different dishes, he cannot eat because he's sick. So he's almost he's almost having like maybe about a month or so to live, right? That's what the doctor in the village says that. So he'll get that Brahmin. He'll tell, you have to come to my house at any cost. You have to come to my house. I had a dream. And he'll say all sorts of nonsense to the Brahmin. He'll say that, no, I had a dream, and God told me to feed you food, and I have to feed you. You have to come to my house. I'll wash your legs. I'll give you food and all that. So the Brahmin will be like, he's a Brahmin, right? Like he's like, the person who eats very subtle food, not like no meat, nothing, just basic food. And on top of that, he's sick. So he'll go back home. He'll tell his wife, just cook couple of curries, and that's it. You don't have to do anything. But this Brahmin, right? This Brahmin has some kind of sixth sense. So he'll have a dream, and he'll know why this person is doing all that. He knows the story, this person's story, that he fell in the river and then he prayed and all that. He'll know that story, right? He understands that he's a lobi. Lobi means a one who is really greedy about the money. So this Brahmin knows, but what else can he do? He'll just go. He'll because he called him, because that person, the businessman, called him. He'll go to his house. He's still not able to take it. From 1,000, it came to one person, but he's still not able to accept the fact that this person is eating in my house. So he'll tell his wife that I have to go out somewhere. I have to go out to the village. I'll come back again in like about 1 hour or so. You feed this Brahmin. You feed him and do not give him anything. Just let him go. After he's done with his food, let him go. That was the best he could do, right? Because his body, his personality is not suiting that, whatever he promised to do, right? So he just thought, I'll go out of the house. Now this Brahmin, he knows, right? He'll tell the wife that your husband promised that he'll feed 1,000, but he did not, so he ended up doing one. So it's up to you. You know how bad it is. Like, you promise something and you're not doing that. It's a bad thing, right? So why don't you do this? Whatever money it'll take to feed 1,000 people, just give me that money. Okay, just give me that money, and then God will be happy because you gave that money to him. I'm going to die anyways. I'll give it to my wife. So at least a family is living on your money. This wife is very innocent and she'll feel bad. She knows her husband is very greedy. So she takes out like 100 gold coins and she'll give the Brahmin. The Brahmin will eat food and slowly he'll go back to his house. And then this greedy person comes in, the businessman comes in, and he'll ask the wife. She'll be like, she'll be very upset. She'll be like, you promised God that you'll do 1,000 people. You did not do anything. This is very bad. This will very bad will happen to you. All this, I know. And this businessman will be like, who told you all these things? The Brahmin told me, because he had some kind of a sixth sense. He knew what was happening. Then he'll ask a question. He'll ask, did you give the Brahmin any money? Right? Did you give him any money? So she'll be like, yeah, I gave him 100 gold coins. And his heart just sinks because he was so careful with the money and everything. He didn't want to give any money. That was the reason he was trying to escape, right? Now, this wife went ahead and give the money. And he gets so upset on his wife. He'll be like, he'll just shout and yell on the wife. He'll go to that, he decided to go to the Brahmin's house. He decided to go to his house and ask for the money back, right? Because it's his money. His blood is boiling, like literally boiling, right? So he'll go to the Brahmin's house. By the time he reaches the house, the Brahmin's wife is crying. She'll be like, I don't know what you guys fed him. As soon as he came from your house, my husband, he's been throwing up non-stop. He's throwing up and he's become even more weak. As it is, he's weak, he's sick, and now he's throwing up. And she'll be like, let me tell to the whole village that you guys fed him poison, or you gave him bad food or whatever. Let me do that, and only then you'll understand what kind of like the whole village will understand what kind of people you guys are. Like, so greedy. You went and you're killing my husband. That's really bad. Now he's going to die. He had like 1 month or 2 months time, and now he's going to die tomorrow, I think. He became very weak. This guy panics. He's like, what is this? I didn't do anything. I just gave him food. We just gave him good food. And she'll be like, no, you guys tortured him. Then he'll be like, please don't tell anybody. I'll give you 1,000 gold coins. Okay, I'll give you 1,000 gold coins. That will be good enough for your life. And please do not tell anybody that this happened. Right? So he started off with 1,000 people, right? So he promised that he'll do 1,000. Assume that, in those days, right, one gold coin is enough to give food and clothes to one person. Let's assume that. So it'll be like 1,000 gold coins. And this guy was really rich. This businessman had enough, more than enough money. So 1,000 was not a big deal. But because of his greed, he came down from 1,000 to 1. He wanted to just finish it off with one gold coin or something. Let's assume that, because there were no coins the olden days. So he was trying to just finish it off with one gold coin. But because he promised 1,000, he ended up giving 1,000 and 100 more. Remember, the wife gave 100 also, right? So he gave 100, the wife gives 100, and this guy gives 1,000. So he ends up giving little more than what he promised, right? So what do we learn in this story? It's very nice story, right? To tell the kids and all. It's a very good story. So kids don't understand about what the promises we make and all that. We can just tell them that the promises we make in real life, right? Like, leave alone God, promises to God, but what we promise to each other. So in real life also, we promise many things, but for whatever reason, sometimes we forget, or we neglect. Most importantly, forget is a different word, neglect is a different word. Neglect means knowingly we are doing mistake, right? In this story also, that person knowingly, he knows what he promised, he knows what he's doing, but even then he went that route of feeding only one person. That means his Arishadvargas are taking over. His emotions are taking over. So we have Arishadvargas means we have Maya, Lobham, anger, selfishness, and there are few more. So today we are talking about greed, right? So his greediness took over, right? He was so selfish, so greedy that it took over, right? In this case, right, we can't tell that person that's how he was born, that was how his soul plan was, like he's supposed to be greedy. But as soon as you receive the awakening, as soon as you have the awakening, right, like you have received this awakening, your soul has received this awakening by whatever means, whether it is meditation or situation, whatever it is, you realize that, okay, you're not born for this, you're born to learn. As soon as we realize that, we have to start changing. That means we have to start practically changing. Theory is good. Theory, we say sorry. Theory, we say a lot of things. We'll do this, we'll do that, we'll help, we'll change. We are in Parivartana, we are in Pasyatapam. Everything we'll say. But are we really putting everything in place? No, because these Arshad Vargas are really a hard balance to our life. Because um, um, because when you're in Bhautikam means in the real world, right? When you're in this real world, um, it's very hard to fight those, right? So my from what I learned from all our Sanatana Dharma, or from our lessons, or from the stories that I usually tell people, what I learned was, we should have the energy to convert these Arshad Vargas to positive energy. Okay. So again, like I said, Arshad Vargas are Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. Okay. Kama means desire to be in broadcast um, sense, not just lust, but it's a lot of desire, right? Krodha means anger, we all know. Lobha means unjust desires, very greedy. Moha means infatuation and confusion. Mada means a state of mind, like a delusion. You feel you're great. That attitude. Madha means that attitude, and Matsarya means jealousy or envy. Like, you have to be happy. No one else can be happy. That kind of things. So these things will always keep pulling us down, no matter you're in meditation or wherever you are. Our goal is to convert these our goal is to convert these Arshad Vargas to a positive energy. In this case, what should this person have done? Right? It's easy for us to judge. We are very judgmental, right? We just judge, right? Oh, he would have done that, he would have done that. But we all do the same things. People beg outside the temple, we go inside and beg. We beg to God, like, give me this, give me that, give me everything. We make God a businessman, right? That's how we were brought up. Anytime we have a situation, we pray to God, give me this. not every one of us, at least in once in a lifetime, we prayed for our marks, for our grades, we prayed for jobs, we prayed for, good husband, we prayed for everything. We never even once accepted what was given to us. We are not that personality, we are humans, right? But now what we have to do is we have to convert these Arshad to positive energy. So in this story, we all know it's easy, right? It's easy because the story, everything happened like in matter of few minutes, right? Everything. By the time he drowned and by the time he reached the home, in a matter of 1 hour, everything happened. In a real life, these things happen over a course of like 4 years, 5 years, or 10 years, sometimes 1 year. It doesn't matter, right? It's a lengthier period. It's not this quick. So we go through that karma, we go through that process, we go through that cleansing process, right? So if we are in the cleansing process, this person, what he should have done was he promised for 1,000. He should realize the value of his life. He should realize the time, because he could have drowned easily. He doesn't know swimming, he doesn't know anything, and it was a big hurricane. He would have drowned and died. He should have remembered the situation. And he should have realized that, okay, I promised for 1,000, but I'm not going to take this 1,000 with me. So when he's near death, when he's experiencing the near death experience, he should have learned his lesson, but he did not. Instead, he became more greedy, right? But what we should do as meditators, every day we get some visions, we get dreams, we know how much we tortured other people. We are all in the same boat. Okay. And because of that karmas, we are in this situation and we are trying to improve our situation. So, best thing to improve our situation is whatever Arshad Vargas we have, convert into positive energy. Now, this person could have converted that into positive energy. Instead of feeding 1,000, once he reached the shore, he should have made it to 2,000. Once he reached the house, he should have realized the value of his life. Instead of 2,000, he should have made it 3,000 or 4,000. He had enough money. It's not like he's going to borrow to, feed those people. He has enough money to feed 10,000 people. So you don't have to spend all your money in that. You could have just done like 4,000 or 5,000 people more than what you promised. So convert your greed to positive energy. You had greed, you convert it to positive energy. As soon as you convert that Arshad Vargas to positive energy, good will happen to you because you're thinking positive. You're not thinking negative. This person was thinking negative. That's why universe came up with a plan to just pull whatever he promised. Universe has ways to get back what we promised. So it's better we do it rather than universe snatching it from us, right? It's better for us to finish off our karmas. Karma is like a bow and arrow, right? Once the arrow goes out, there's a bow. There is karma standing with the bow. There is arrow to it. It's time for karma. The arrow just goes out towards us. It's up to us what we are going to receive. The arrow can go to our brain, or if we bend, arrow can go to our back, or if we bend even more, the arrow can hit our leg instead of our head, right? So it's up to us what we are going to do. So when we know that there is karma, we have to release the karma, and the only way to release karma is to do seva. If you're going through financial situation, donate money. If you're going through health situation, help people who are in the same situation, right? Give them advice, go to seva wherever, old age homes or in hospitals or anywhere. There is a lot to do seva. There in India, there's so many people out there where you can go and you can donate, whatever you want. In US also there are places where you can go. Senior centers are there. There are homeless people. Just try. Or put a jar and put some money in there and tell that when you go back to India, you'll donate all that money. So just do something, right? If you're going through mental issues or struggles or whatever, just try to help people in that situation. Come out of it and try to help people in that situation. So whatever your situation is, the only way to reduce your karma is to say sorry. That's definitely you're going to say sorry when you see your dreams, and also releasing your karma by helping people who are in a similar situation. So, masters, like I said, this class was not a very organized class. I just picked up one of my recent classes, my Telugu classes that I did. So again, I didn't tell what Ani ma'am was planning to tell about kids and all that, but I hope whatever we discussed today, whatever we we went through the story, or whatever we had learned today, will be helpful for our daily life. We come through the situation. So if you remember the story, you'll remember many situations where you can open up, and you can think about this and be like, okay, no, I have to step back. I don't want to become like this person, and I have to do good to people. Even if we change once, our thought process once, we can consider ourselves as achieved something in this life, right? We are helpful to universe, we are helpful to people around us. That's all universe is asking. So masters, that was the class. If any of you has any questions, anything you want to discuss, just raise your hands and I can unmute you guys. Nothing? No one has questions?
Hello, ma'am. Your class is so nice, and like it's really, really impressive how you were telling without any preparation. I'm so glad that I didn't miss this class today. Oh my God, like we know everything, but still we do the same mistakes. But it's good, encouraging way that you told the story so that we will remember and tell our kids and tell everyone, or at least we will tell ourselves.
Yeah.
And so much thankful to you for having this beautiful session. Thank you, ma'am.
Oh, I'm just a carrier, master. Everything masters, they decide who. You have a soul plan, right? They're just telling me to tell this, and it just came out very well. That's all I think. And this is what I tell in my classes as well, all my karma vipaka dhyanam, or all my Telugu classes, whatever classes I did so far. Everything I tell is everything we know. It's just that we have to remind each other that, okay, this is not something new. Just remember in every day the process that we are going through. Just remember these things, little things. We all pass so many lives. We came to this life where we are meditators. Like, we at least know the value of meditation. That means we have finished lot of janmas where we learned. Our soul learned a lot of things. Now all we have to do is don't get down to the lower soul. Now you have to just keep improving. So only by remembering these little things we can progress in our lives. Our soul will progress. Otherwise it's very hard, because that's how this Kali Yuga is, right? They keep pulling you down. Every time it'll be pulling you down. The
Every
more
day.
we listen to these
Yeah.
classes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wherever you go, you feel you have these situations that it is unavoidable because you have to go outside and
Yeah.
meet people. But see, these classes help us in a way that every day, if you listen, you will improve your like re-energize or yourself or that like
Yep.
that way. I feel like that because
Mhm.
every day you need something like a feeding thing. I feel so. I'm so
Yeah.
happy to have this class. So, yeah.
Oh, thank you, Master. Thank you so much. Um, Shalini Master. No, sorry, Srinalini. Srinalini Master. Go ahead, please.
Thank you for the class, Master. It was awesome.
Mm,
So
thank you.
every time I think Arishadvargas how to remind um, where we are stuck in. So this story will remind me every time when I will stuck in Lobha. With this story, we won't be stuck here. So
Yes.
some situations are um, around me. The situations are like this. It seems I'm getting to know.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah.
so I understood that I am stuck in, and I have to concentrate on that. So I want to help.
Hmm.
So I'll try to help little bit. So, so I'm not doing this time. So because of me, the story you told the story only because of me. I'm
Relating,
thinking
it's
about that.
relating to you. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
it's
relating to
relating.
me.
So,
Anyway,
yeah,
thank you, Master. Thank you.
sure, no problem. There is actually, it's a coincidence, or I don't know how universe helps. Every time, every class, I tell these stories. I like telling stories. So all these stories, I tell because only stories we can carry to the next generation. And also for us also, it's easy to remember, right? So I
Yes,
keep telling
Master.
these stories, and every class, someone or the other will say, I was in the situation and your story helped me. Every class, not one class went without getting that message or people telling me that somehow today I was thinking how to get out of this, and your class came up, Master, and your class helped me because it helped me think. Leave alone practice and all that. It helped me think, like, how do I proceed in my life, right? How do I progress? I was stuck. I didn't know what to do. And your class made me think. And I always feel this is what universe does. When you put one step forward to learn, you ask a question to the universe will give you ways. It sudden Animam was supposed to take a class today. It was about kids and some educate, like kids and I think eating habits or education or something like that. It's a totally different class. I don't know how you and I connected, right? Why
Yes,
I didn't prepare. 8:35, I was told that, if you can take class. I'm like, okay, I have time, I'll do it. So that's how every, like I said, right? Every single time I tell a story, I get message on the side or people tell in the class that, your story was exactly what I was thinking before I came to the class. Or they say, this morning only I was thinking, how do I come out of this? And your class came up and your story is exactly my life. So what else proof do we need? Universe is helping us. Even if we help one person in their life, right, to change, we have achieved enough. We have achieved something, not enough, but achieved something, right?
Yes,
We
Master.
understand our life soul, like our soul plan, our
Yes,
life's soul plan, why we are here in the very beginning. So some things come easily to people, right? Like, lot of people said like your classes are like engaging, little good, and it is interactive and all that, right? But that nothing I did special. I'm not doing anything different. It's just that this universe wanted me to communicate. That's all. I'm just a carrier. Just a carrier carrying that information to you guys. So somehow I tell stories. Like every week I tell stories in my classes, right? Every week I tell at least 3 stories for sure. If I have classes, more classes, it will be 5 stories a week. So that means I've been doing this for like almost a year now. So that means I need to know so many stories.
Yes.
But if you ask me, right, I don't remember anything because universe helps me remember only for that time. That time I remember some stories. I tell the class, I tell how we have to change everything, and it is done. Like it is done. When my kid asks me, right, tell me a story, then I'll be thinking, what story did I tell yesterday? What story did I tell day before yesterday? That's how it is. It is hard to believe for everyone, but that's how it is. That's how universe is helping us. So I always believe that we are connected for a reason. Whoever, some people, they might have thought of missing the classes and they join the classes. Some people who wanted to join also miss the classes. We don't know what the reason was, right?
Yes,
We
Master. Yes.
and maybe they'll listen later on to the live classes, or they'll find in YouTube or whatever the reason is. But we have to learn to enjoy the present, whatever the situation is. You were supposed to join, you did not join, or you were supposed to not join and you joined. Enjoy the present, just embrace that moment. That's all. Think about that moment. Don't think about the past. Don't think about the future. Just think about the moment. You're here, let's make use of it. That's all. When you're meditating, just let's make use of it. You'll get thoughts. That's very normal. Thoughts coming in, thoughts going, these are all very, very normal. Let's embrace that moment, that particular moment. Just focus on that moment. That's all. The more we think, right, we overthink, we overcomplicate. So just think about that situation, even for the Arishadvargas, right? That situation, just put that situation in a box. Just fix that box. Then push the box away. It's done. Next time you're in a situation, again open up that box. What should I do? That's it. Don't keep on thinking about it. The more you think, the more overthink, the more complicated we make ourselves and make everyone's lives complicated. So just let go.
Yes, Master. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Master. Actually, because of that, we need to join regular satsang. So we'll get every time. If I stuck, I just want any information. just I'll open a video or joining in the satsang, gives me answer every time.
Yeah.
I'll tell every time that I got the answer today. I just want to surf about that, but I'll get answer directly or indirectly. So that
You
makes
take one
me
step
very
forward, universe will give you 10 steps. Universe will come towards you. All we have
yes,
to do is ask that question. That's all. That's all. Ask that question, it'll come to you.
yes, Master. Thank you. Thanks a lot,
So,
Master.
thank you. Do we have any other questions? What was that? Your voice was breaking. All right, masters, thank you so much for the opportunity. And I'll end the class now. Thank you. Thanks again.